Shalom, my family. Shalom. Yes, this is your brother Dana. I'm here still in the city of Atlanta. I haven't gone nowhere. In fact, by the time you get to the end of this video, you will have to embrace the fact that you're stuck with me like white on rice. Hey family, I know it's only been a couple of months, but for me it has seemed much longer than that. And so I want to take these next few minutes to share with you what's been happening over the last couple of months in my absence. It's hard for me to believe the fact that I've been down here now for almost a year and a half. February of 21 is when I left Chicago and came down this way. Of course, I was, expecting that the Father would give me a couple of months to kind of get situated in and settled in and acquainted with my new environment. But as he would see that my savings was dwindling, he'd open up the door for some type of monetary employment, whether it was those jobs I applied for from a few different school districts here in the Atlanta area, or getting a call back from somebody with my business. I started Dana R. Stevens RP Coaching, consulting working with our at-risk youth. But nobody gave me a call back. So not only did that really take a punch to my self-esteem and maybe my own value, it got worse when I eventually had to call up my mom to ask her if she would help keep me from becoming homeless. And my mother is, a recent widow, and I'm the oldest son, and so I'm the one that should be taking care of her, right? Not vice versa. And so over these past months, I finally began to accept the consequences and the responsibility that maybe my move down here was not so much the Most High Yah, but it was my flesh. No, it's not probably a bad thing that I wanted to move from the cold to a warmer climate. I don't think it was such a horrible thing that I asked the Father for a break from the inner city, because the weight of the pain and depression was really beginning to take a toll on me. But yet and still, maybe I put my own comfort above Him. And now for that, here I was. But that changed a couple nights ago. Around 3 o'clock in the morning, I was awoken to my alarm that I got an email, and I was for a couple of nights been anticipating one coming through at some point, and so I was probably sleeping pretty light. And I opened it up, and it was the email that I had been waiting for. So I immediately went in and I ordered a box of 10 books that are in the mail on their way to me. And as soon as that box gets here, I'm going to open it up and I'm going to take one of those books. I'm going to jump in the car and I'm going to go on up to TJ Maxx. See, last summer, when I didn't get a call from any of the school districts or anybody regarding my business, I did get one call from TJ Maxx. So I went up there and I'm sitting in the office, and the store manager walks in and she sits down in front of me and she says, Mr. Stevens, she said, when I got your application, I was so excited. She said, you and I have so much in common. She said, we both have masters in counseling. She said, we both have extensive amount of volunteer work. And she says, I can tell we both love the Lord. But she said, a few moments ago when I walked into the office here to meet with you, she said, I heard the voice of God. And He told me that I can't, nor am I allowed to hire you, because if I do, I will hinder what God has called you down here to do. And she said, Mr. Stevens, I'm not taking that upon me. So unfortunately, I have to listen to the voice of God. And I can't hire you. We spent the next couple of minutes talking. I don't remember everything. I was kind of in a shock, daze, awe, all of it. But I do remember as we were walking out, I got to share with her that she was a true chosen child of the Most High Yah. When we got outside, she looked at me and she says, "Man of God," she said, "when that manifests," she says, "you make sure you come back here and you let me know." We gave each other a hug and I went on my way. That family is why when I get this box of books, I'm going to take one of them straight up to her. Over this time of being down here, I have used it to get some healing. The Father has strengthened me. He's built up some of my confidence, my boldness. In a nutshell, He has prepared me for such a time as now. And then finally, 2 months ago, I pushed through my fears of inadequacy and inabilities to finish what I started almost 20 years ago. And that is my book. See, the Father wanted me to write all the lessons and the experiences that He brought me through during those 30 years in Chicago that were used to expose my white supremacy, my white privilege, my racist and prejudiced thoughts and behaviors, to now present it to the world. And so family, today, right now as I even speaking, you can go on Amazon and you can purchase my ebook or my paperback book entitled with these 3 words, "Welcome to Racism." The time is now when somebody from my side of the family boldly proclaims that racism is alive and trying to grow stronger. And then out of all that book, the last chapter, I can't wait for them to read. It's called Not Cursed, but Chosen. And in this chapter, I share where I finally began to understand systematic racism. But now I was demanding and seeking an answer to where and what the root of it was. And as many of you know, it was in August of 2014 when I heard the voice of the Most High Yah tell me that you were not cursed, but His precious chosen children. He then said Deuteronomy chapter 28, and I ran and picked up my Bible from the floor. I sat on my bed and I began to read it. At this moment, I want to read to you the last paragraph of that chapter, because it will give you some insight and some heads up to why you may not see me a lot even in the next couple of months. With a racing heart, I sat on my bed attempting to decipher the last verses through my tear-blurred eyes. My emotions were a whirlwind. I was shocked, relieved, and yet in awe. Awe that the Almighty Yah Himself had unveiled the answer that had eluded me for so long. This was the truth that would illuminate the path to liberation for my Black family. It was a revelation that brought understanding to my spirit, and a message now I am equipped to proclaim that will set my Black family free. that you are not cursed, but you are chosen. I now realize while in Chicago, I wasn't living in a black inner city community. I wasn't living in an inner city community of Negroes. I wasn't living in an inner city of people of color. I wasn't living in an African American inner city community. But in fact, according to Deuteronomy chapter 28, verse 17, I was living amongst the Hebrews. So yes, I'm in chapter 3 to 4 right now of this next book called Not Black, Not Colored, Not Negro, Not African American, but Hebrew. Because next the world needs to understand the root of racism in America. That we are not harboring blacks or Negroes or African Americans, but this nation has been enslaving the true Hebrews. And when all is done, family, I hope that I give you the due honor that you deserve, and that I give my Most High Yah, my Father, all the glory that is due him. I hope this encourages your heart. I hope this lets you know what's been going on. And like I said at the beginning, you're stuck with me, family, like white on rice. Please go to Amazon. Check out my book. I'm going to be sending on Facebook here a couple promotion videos that you could share if you find so in your heart to do so. Because I want to get the word out that racism, number one, right now is still alive and trying to come on back. And next, I want to give the word to all that you are his precious chosen children, the true Hebrews. And with that, family, this is your brother Dana, coming to you from the city of Atlanta, from a place in one love. Love you, family. Shalom.